pas la vie en rose.
And now Chuck will translate.
Colleen had a great weekend. Please give me some more bonbons and
Help.
Je suis Charlie.
Yes.
This
Lots of world events over the weekend. Just
This, it's
enough
foretelling.
to depress you.
This is like that scene from Saving Private Ryan where they know that the troops are about to storm the town and they're playing the song, and it's that.
Oh, wow.
This is.
You're thinking this is the tip of the go get 'em ISIS iceberg.
Oh, dude,
World
absolutely.
War III.
Yeah, we're gonna have an expert on talking about this, and this is, they finally have picked on everyone in the schoolyard, even the people who aren't playing well together, and it's gonna rain on them.
Well, and I never know what to believe on this thing that Al Gore invented, the interwebs. Because now this morning, as I was farting around, ISIS has released 6 of the 16 U.S. cities where they have 72 terrorists ready to go. Now, is that just Timmy in his basement? Or is that legitimate stuff?
Oh,
and it's like Illinois, Michigan, California, New York, get ready.
Well, they need to get ready. I mean, they don't need someone to tell them that, because it doesn't take. It just shows you it doesn't take 1,000. It doesn't take.
Yeah.
It takes a couple of people to wreak that kind of terror and havoc and just bloodbath.
Well, we're going to dwell into it. We're going to have our. How does Simon bill him? He's a terrorist security expert.
He was on the counterterrorism squad in Thames Valley Police Department just outside of London.
In London area. Okay, so we're going to talk to him again, get his opinions. Believe it or not, Sarah Palin was on the big Sunday shows. Oh, this is fantastic. Can't wait. And we got something exciting we're going to be talking about today and tomorrow and possibly throughout the week here. Movie fans. That's right. It's the last of the Hunger Game movie that'll be opening up. And we have a prize pack. Lionsgate Studio contacted this little hit show of ours and said, hey, how would your listeners enjoy free movie passes, a prize package? And if you haven't heard, Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2 is opening up this week.
My dear Miss Everdeen, the game is coming to its end.
If you're killing Katniss, our lives, they mean something.
Got one shot.
Let's make it count.
The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2, rated PG-13. Experience it in IMAX November 20th.
Was that our friend Ben? No.
I'm excited.
Anyway, so we're going to give away the details throughout the show. But basically, contact us either on our Facebook page, our website, and let us know if you're interested in going to see this movie. All right, and we have, thanks to Lionsgate and the folks at Niemer Fieger, we have a chance to give you, lucky listeners, passes and a prize pack. We're going to find out what's inside this prize pack. I think Jennifer Lawrence, an inflatable Jennifer Lawrence maybe, is inside the prize pack.
Sounds amazing.
Settle down, Chuck. All right, let's get this hit show started, shall we?
Yes.
Congratulations. You found the Twin Cities hit show.
Very well. Where do I begin?
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention?
You're lucky to be here.
Thank you, sir.
Reach for this one.
And now, a real hit show.
Back to actual artists, real musicians with something to say.
Hold on. This is a live show, right?
Yeah.
That was the wrong open. That was from our Sick of Sarah, which was a great show. Have you heard? You listened to that one, right? Oh, you were here.
I was here.
Yep.
They played music, I think.
Yeah. I was up early this morning.
This is always how a show goes well. And take 2.
I don't know if
Let's
we have
play today's intro.
I'll sing
we have
something.
today's.
Rusty's good with
I blame
computers.
Obama.
Let's just sing it.
Dang it! I had a good one. Well, maybe that
You're
was
lucky just to be here.
you know what? Maybe I shouldn't be playing it because I was like, do I do this? I had
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
No, Professor Clouseau. I was trying to find. And he was, Peter Sellers.
Why do an intro? Let's just talk about it instead. We could have a really cool intro on the show, but
I can't find it. My stupid computer doesn't have it, so maybe we'll play it tomorrow. Here's what I do.
Let's get this hit show started.
All right.
Allons ensemble Le jour de gloire est arrivé. Contre nous deux.
8th grade French. I had to learn this and sing it to my French teacher in the hallway. We had to go out one by one and sing the France's national anthem to her.
Really?
She was hot, by the way.
Kinda
I was
creepy.
just going to say,
I did well.
Uncomfortable
this
eye
never
contact.
ends well for anybody.
Do you know who this singer is?
Is it
Rusty
the,
Gatenby?
No.
was the girl that played Catwoman? Eartha Kitt.
No. She's one of France's most famous singers, Edith Piaf. And again, I studied French, but I've forgotten it. So I had to make sure I was saying her name right. So here's what I found on the internet.
Edith Piaf. Edith Piaf.
God bless you.
Can you pronounce the
Is it
president
tight?
of France? Do you know the president of France?
Gerard Depardieu.
Hollande.
François Hollande.
Oh. That's close.
François Hollande. François Hollande.
There, you're
Is
choking
it
on something.
Cannes or Cannes? Is it the Cannes Film Festival or is it the
Cannes.
Cannes
I
Film?
believe it's the cans.
Can.
Can.
Can't.
Rusty had a
Can.
lot of
Can't.
downtime this weekend.
Can.
Hey, Jennifer, listen to this. Penis.
Can.
Penis. Penis.
Can.
We are going to do a French lesson in the second half hour, including naughty French
I was going
words.
to say you're not kissing, I hope.
We're gonna learn how to swear in French in the second half hour. The Metropolitan Opera, before their matinee, broke into the France national anthem. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
They know how to sing. Did you see Saturday Night Live on Saturday?
No.
I saw
This is
clips.
the city of light. And here in New York City, we know that light will never go out. Our love and support is with everyone there tonight.
Who is that?
We stand with you.
Sicily?
Paris, c'est la ville lumière. Ici à New York City, nous savons que cette lumière ne s'éteindra jamais. On vous envoie tout notre amour et soutien ce soir. Nous sommes de tout cœur avec vous. And now, live from New York, it's Saturday night.
I thought she was going to go, and be your lady mama.
The best, though, in my opinion, was John Oliver last night. Here's how he opened his show.
We must begin with a few words about France, which on Friday suffered the deadliest attack on its soil since World War II. Look, it's hardly been 48 hours, and much is still unknown. But there are a few things we can say for certain, and this is when it actually helps to be on HBO, where those things can be said without restraint. Because after the many necessary and appropriate moments of silence, I'd like to offer you a moment of premium cable profanity. So here is where things stand. First, as of now, we know this attack was carried out by gigantic fucking arseholes. Unconscionable, flaming arseholes, possibly working with other fucking arseholes, definitely working in service of an ideology of pure arseholery. Second, and this goes almost without saying, fuck these arseholes. Fuck them, if I may say, sideways.
Yeah, so there you go.
Nailed it.
That's one way to open a show.
I think that President Obama should just take that speech and next time that's what he should say. He'd rally the whole country behind him. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah. Facebook was lit up with a lot of, let's go get him, coward in chief, we have a weak president, let's bomb him,
idle down,
let's
everybody.
take them all out. I hesitate, and I don't know how these people show up on my timeline. I guess I friend too many people. But one of them was saying, yeah, look at the French president. He's done so much right away as opposed to our weak-ass coward-in-chief and blah, blah, blah. He dropped 20 bombs, which is great.
Right.
We've dropped 7,000.
Yeah.
3,000 in the month of October. France was able to do this because of our intel. He's like, well, he did it right away. Well, first you can't swing and kill in the dark. You got to figure out intelligence, support, what your targets actually are. You're surrounded by innocent people.
Yeah.
You can't just go over there and blow the shit out of things before you know where people are.
And we're part of a coalition, which we're leading, but there's a coalition, and now, thank you, ISIS, you've just increased
We'll let
the
them
coalition.
take the lead in whatever
And
you need.
this person, by the way, is a huge religious God squatter.
Yeah.
You know, what would Jesus do? Jesus would do what you're doing, dick.
Right.
So anyway, there he's
Jesus would make a bunch of bread and fishes.
Come on, guys, sit down to dinner.
Guys, come on.
No kissing.
It was totally different time.
Judas, no kissing at this dinner.
It's way before smartphones.
The other thing that I kept seeing was the outrage of the silence of what happened in Beirut and how certain massacres get more play because it's unexpected and it's not in the Middle East.
And I get that, but you can't. Oh, it'd be exhausting to just be in constant.
Another thing that kept coming up in my news feed was people being pissed about the hashtag Pray for Paris, and it was ridiculous. I thought my point was it isn't that. Go ahead and be annoyed by it, but they're just annoyed at the religious part. Pray, then don't pray.
Yeah, I'm an atheist. I don't give a flying shit.
It's like
pray for Paris.
Someone says Happy Hanukkah to me, I'm not going to get mad about it. It's just move on. If it doesn't hurt you, let's keep going.
So we're calling Simon now, right?
Yeah.
What's Simon? His last name again?
Simon Asimov.
Laban.
Simon Laban.
Kingswood Security.
Wouldn't that be perfect?
He's
Hello.
Hello. Good morning.
Oh, good morning, Simon.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Simon, we need your help. How should we be scared shitless this morning?
Should you? No, certainly not. No. The sad event. Well, first of all, saying my prayers and thoughts go out to people, for anyone affected in the tragedy in Paris. But these events have been coming for some time. It's not a surprise to some of us in the security arena that this has happened, but more so surrounding how ISIL have changed their tack to actually attacking more of the homeland in Europe. But people certainly shouldn't be changing their lifestyle, just becoming more situationally aware.
And do you think those events will be happening here in the U.S.?
Well, what I would say to that is that we've definitely seen a change. So ISIL, prior to really this incident, was all about securing land in the Middle East and then holding their position. What we've seen over the weekend is actually they have a vast array of foreign fighters that have travelled to Syria, have been trained. And now this is where ISIL is very clever. They're starting to use that and exploit that and actually send those people back to known areas to carry out attacks. So it's very much possible that this type of event could happen in the US, but I think we're a long way from that. France has a history with terrorism. There's a history between even ISIL and France itself, between comments that Hollande, the French president, has made. So I don't think we're there yet, but we're very close to it.
Yeah, I think anyone in the terrorism circle would agree that it's inevitable, but to what extent? I don't know if you saw this. I just saw this recently, but the list that came out, ISIS released of military personnel in cities that they're
didn't Richfield make it?
Yeah, Richfield did not make the list. But I mean, they're doing their best to make this as global as possible. But Simon, it sure does seem like France is in their bonnet. So
yeah, and if you to put it into perspective, if you remove Russia and Syria itself, France is number one for foreign fighters that have gone over there. And I did some research over the weekend. It's hard to get a definitive number, but going back to 2014, they were saying over 1,400 French nationals had gone to Syria. So here we are a year later. You can mostly double or triple that number. France has a big problem with people leaving, following the ideology, and then coming back to France. So that's very different to the US. We're talking hundreds there. France is talking thousands of people that have potentially been trained by ISIL.
There's so many questions, and we can only guess, I guess, at this point, but how did those guys get guns into the rock and roll show? How did they get past the ticket takers?
Well, see, that's a good question, Rusty. It's very different between Europe and between the US itself. So one of the reasons, come back to your earlier points around, will we see those attacks here? Europe is a very open-bordered environment. It's very easy for these small cells that we've seen to operate and maneuver between countries. So, there's talk of Belgium has been involved. There's been talk of someone potentially being stopped from Germany trying to get into France with a vehicle that had weapons inside, and this sat-nav program for Paris. The open borders in Europe is it's a haven for criminality. It's a haven for people to actually move around this area. So easier to get arsenal and weaponry from the Middle East or from Europe into some of these countries to carry out these attacks.
Now, people have already forgotten. We have a short memory for this stuff, but the attacks in Mumbai, this kind of mimics those with the multi-prong attack on a big city. Can you speak to even just how your agency in England would have been overwhelmed, or anybody in the U.S. would be overwhelmed by this response?
Yeah, and the thing I've actually say there, Chuck, is on the prioritisation. A lot of people even over the weekend have been saying to me, well, this person was on the terrorist watch list. Were they being observed? What was happening? How does this happen? Well, you take instances like Mumbai and even the 7/7 attacks back in my homeland in England. These small cells, it's very difficult to manage these. I mean, you talk about the terrorism watch list here in the US. It's most probably thousands and hundreds of thousands of names that are on there. So these come very much down to a prioritisation of what can the intelligence services do, what can law enforcement do. There's mostly lots of questions that the French are holding now on intelligence gaps as to what was missing. But the style of attack of the multiple cells is sadly very, very simple to execute and very difficult for the security services to anticipate and actually prevent.
Yeah, I mean, just thinking about the agency I worked on a really busy night, we might have 15 people working. I mean, try and send 15 people in to deal with 6 different sites with multiple shooters. Good luck. And then when you ask for the extra resources from neighboring agencies and everyone sends their people, you don't know what to do with those people. I mean, all of a sudden you're flooded and no one knows where to go. So
and one this is the sad thing in terrorism. I mean, England suffered with many years with the IRA. France has had, I think they've had 5 or 6 attacks, known terrorism attacks. This year, 2015, started with the Charlie Hebdo attack at by AQ. They've become very good at actually dealing with this. And one thing the French did very well was, they stopped the immediate threat. Those that didn't detonate themselves, we heard that one person was, the violence was removed and it actually managed to kill one of the terrorists. The safety of the public was very suitably addressed, and they put resources straight into it. And I'm sure now they're looking at the intelligence gap. So through their knowledge of dealing with these incidents, they're becoming very sufficient in manpower, resources, where things need to go and who they're communicating with.
France is very angry, and they're an animal I do not understand, but you're from there. Maybe you understand them better. What do you think, moving forward, is going to change in terms of France?
Well, it's very difficult. I mean, even in ISIL claiming the attack, I think one of the quotes, they said that Paris is the capital of prostitution and vice, and that France and all nations in its path are going to going to be the top of our target. And allegedly one of the attackers was heard to make comments about the French president surrounding things that are done with the Muslim community. It's very difficult. I mean, in relation to the citizens, they will go around and go about their business as normal. But, people shouldn't change their lifestyle by this. They very much should be aware of the threats. And the main things to consider when you break it down to a very basic level, Chuck, is that all those places were of mass gatherings. So people shouldn't stop going to soccer games or to concerts, but the situational awareness, which is changing in 2015, has to be the big thing for the Europeans and those particularly in France right now. It's the old-fashioned see something, say something. Every person there has to play their part in looking at their surroundings, and if things are looking out of place, making sure they're reporting those to the relevant authorities.
It's funny, I remember when the movie Jaws was a huge hit, and then people swimming in lakes would start to freak out. And I'm like, come on, there are no sharks in Minnesota lakes, but good Lord, we should be afraid going to the Mall of America, or not, if not afraid. You say have a heightened... Yeah.
Yeah, I'm afraid.
Yeah, it's like, what is this world we're living in?
Yeah. And I think, too, that see something, say something, isn't that kind of like after the fact at that point? Where is that? What? I mean, I'm sure there is...
Well, no, actually...
I saw a guy with a bazooka.
Yeah. It's Simon.
I was just going to say, on that thing, I would say not because But when you start piecing down, I spent lots of time this weekend reading up on what's going on, talking to friends that work in intelligence, talking to people within law enforcement. There is always what we call indicators. There's always behaviours. These events don't just suddenly happen. I mentioned about the French would be looking surrounding intelligence gaps. this person that was trying to come in from Germany, the 51-year-old male that had the sat-nav and the Kalashnikov, just happened to be some of the assault rifles used in the attack. These people that have moved from, a French national has gone to Syria, been trained, he's come back, he's ended up in Belgium, then in France. These type of things are people that have been seeing and behaviours, and we call those indicators, tripwires. So there are things that you can see beforehand which lead to the fact that something is going to happen. You won't know pinpoint the exact date and time there could be an attack, but you'll see behaviours that are telling you that something bad is going to happen. And that's the same for walking down the street and you're clutching a purse and someone walking towards you, their eyes are fixed on their purse. Their body language is saying to you that something is going to happen. So there's always indicators. It's just a question of actually trying to make sure you're aware of them.
Yeah, dry runs. I mean, a lot of these, in fact, these were probably rehearsed to some extent the night before or the week before. They didn't just show up and do it. They went to a concert the week before.
I still can't figure out how they got those weapons inside the theater.
Yeah.
That to me is like, do you have a cell phone? Nope.
Okay,
come on in.
He balanced on his shoulders with a big trench coat.
Have awfully broad shoulders.
You're
tall guy.
very tall, sir.
You're like 7'5".
Yeah, and if if one of the reports is to believe to be true, the reason why the suicide bomber detonated himself outside the soccer stadium was the fact that he was actually stopped and searched, and someone felt the suicide vest on him, and that's the point when he detonated himself. So, it's, again, you don't want every shop corner or every shop you walk in for people to be searching you and having some of these really intrusive matters, but it has to be a consideration.
Is that a suicide belt, or are you just happy to be here? Oh, boy. Well, you said you did some research over the weekend. What stuck out to you the most? Anything surprising that you learned then in your research over the weekend?
Well, one thing that that struck to me, and I couldn't find any open source information on it, was found, the vast number of foreign fighters have gone from France to Syria. And, it's quite clear from this weekend that some of those people have now left and are living in neighbouring European countries. What I'm trying to picture in my mind, what would the French government be doing about those people? Have they created a task force? Do they create a task force to look at those? Because you can go online and look at the data. France is leaps and bounds above anyone else in the number of foreign fighters. So I'm really intrigued to see what France as a country is trying to do to either stop that or actually then review afterwards. Where do they go with that?
Yeah. Well, Simon, unfortunately, I think we may have to be calling you throughout the next year here. Tell us again where your company and then who can use your services.
Yeah, so my company is Kingswood Security Consulting, and you can find me online and through Facebook and Instagram and all social medias. And one thing I would end up by saying is that in relation to people travelling abroad for vacations and work,
right.
There's two very useful resources for people. So the Department of State have a very good threat picture on their website, and there's also an organisation called the Overseas Security Alliance Council, OSAC. People can just Google either one of those, and it'll give you a rundown of country, threat picture, and people can make the informed choice themselves as to what they do. And there's lots of useful information out there. So, I just want to plug me. I want to plug the government safety stuff as well.
Go government.
Yeah.
Go U.S. Merca.
All right, Simon. Be safe.
Yep. You have a good day, guys. Thanks for calling.
All right.
Simon.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
He sounds like he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, he actually doesn't, but he has the accent. That's all that matters.
It's just interesting to see how, because they have such a high, and this is going to sound like I'm saying all Muslims, but they have a high Muslim population in France, and there was always those issues of assimilation and that kind of thing. How are they going to stop letting people come in so freely? Are they going to have to tighten it up? Are they going to have certain rules? Like, I don't know. It just seemed kind of like they were a little bit passive without not wanting to be politically incorrect, and they were being really gentle. And I'm thinking that didn't work all that well.
Didn't work
for them.
so well for you.
Well, and then one came in with the refugees, they say, so that tarnishes that.
Right, and I think, too, that people are up in arms, like, what would Jesus do? He would let them come in, but I'm not saying that all of them. It wouldn't take all of them. It would take a handful of them, considering that 70% of the ones that are coming here are men. Mm-hmm. Most of them probably are fine, but it doesn't take most of them. It takes some of them to do something like that, and they see that as an opening. I think they made a point too. I think they had passports on those guys that blew themselves up. Yeah. They don't need their passports. They knew they were going in and they were going to die. Yeah. But it was almost kind of like a calling card, like this is where we're from. So,
this didn't take long to vet the info that it came from ISIS. And granted, ISIS claims it, but ISIS claims a lot of bullshit because they're pretty good with the PR. So for them to actually,
if they want to claim it, then we'll blame them for it. That's fine. I don't care.
Well, as we were talking off air, but. My comment was, Russia was not really against ISIS, and they took out that airliner, and now you've picked on everybody in the schoolyard, and you're going to get an ass kicking. And I don't think we are just going to wipe them out, and I don't think they're going to go away. But we have all these countries. There's going to be a coalition of angry schoolyard people kicking their ass.
I hope so. This, by the way. Eagles of Death Metal.
Oh. They performed in Minneapolis in September.
Not what I thought they were going to sound like.
They're good, actually.
Yeah.
This is the lead singer from Kings of the Stone Age, I think.
Oh.
Yeah. And I think Jack White they used to have bands together, so I think these are kind of their side projects.
That's not what I expected. I expected death metal.
No.
It's kind of poppy.
It's ironic.
Like poppy.
It's an ironic name.
Oh.
Jack Black is in one of their videos.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was expecting...
Death metal, yeah. Well, when I saw pictures from inside of the place, they were all pretty hipstery looking. I'm like, that doesn't look like a death metal group.
Yeah, exactly.
Which, then did you see the cell phone video when this is inside?
No.
Here it comes. Yeah.
They still play.
No, that's they looped it. Okay. No, they stopped playing.
They lost one of their guys.
The merchandise guy, but the band got off stage.
But the thing that made me, I was watching this as it was unfolding, and the thing that just gets you so sick to your gut is like at that very moment they were lining them up and shooting them, just executing them one by one
to kill 100.
Yeah,
and just like I wanted to cry. It was just like these poor kids are just so afraid and.
Again,
evil.
Talk about this in my terrorism class, but I reference heavily the Dave Grossman book that talks about it's called On Killing, and it talks about the natural aversion we as humans have to killing other humans, and taking that next step where you dehumanize these people so much that you are okay as they plead with their lives. There's no human connection. You go, you're not human to me. I'm going to kill you anyway. And they're talking about people going up on that second floor and just begging with these guys, please, spare the women. Pop, pop. They just shoot the guys as they ask. Just horrible.
Last night.
Bells of Notre Dame toll and toll and toll for the dead. The trauma of Friday night's multiple attacks still all too raw.
This is Vincent Price?
With soldiers on guard outside, a special service was held in this ancient cathedral, offering up prayers for the dead and prayers for the living.
He is a little overly dramatic.
It's like scary.
André Vantois told the congregation, "There can be no crack in the foundation of our convictions. But this city, in shock, will take time to recover."
It's terrible.
Anyway, so that was last night.
As long as he didn't do a maniacal laugh at the end of it, it was fine.
One thing I did discover, French rap is horrible.
Vive le roi, ce soir c'est la fête. On lui a mis en plus une belle couronne sur la tête. Il est fort mon roi, il a vaincu la bête. Le méchant borgne, le
romantic.
I'm not buying it. You're a tough guy?
Yeah.
First of all, take the beret off. Yo.
Like the mime. How do you say pop a cat in your ass in French?
We're going to take a break here. Again, remember, we're giving away tickets to the Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2. Get a hold of us on Facebook, tweet us, the website. And, when we come back, we're going to hear from Sarah Palin. Donald Trump had an epic meltdown. And we're going to learn how to swear in French.
Yay.
Words you can have fun with later today, all right? We're going to be right back.
The Twin Cities Hit Show. We'll be right back.
will watch more than a mere spectacle.
This is the end.
Good luck, Katniss. This is our last chance.
Katniss, when I see you again, it'll be a different world.
The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2, rated PG-13. Experience it in IMAX Friday.
3rd Street Brewhouse, built on a perfect site in Cold Spring, Minnesota, combining the state-of-the-art brewing facility with exceptional water. Hello, did we mention Cold Spring, Minnesota? They have a dream team of world-class brewers, resulting in unprecedented crafted beers. The core styles of Bitter Black IPA, Lost Trout Brown Ale, and Rise to the Top Cream Ale are intriguing yet satisfying. And look forward to seasonal and specialty beers. Nothing fancy, no fuss. It's all about the beer at 3rd Street Brewhouse. MacMen. Don't let your computer problems drive you mad. We are MacMen, Minnesota's premier tech consultants and problem solvers for Macs, mobile devices, troubleshooting, training, and much more. No more dragging your computer all over town because we come to you. We love making house calls to your home or small business. MacMen. Call 612-345-8005.
The Rusty Gatenby Review is the entertaining show about entertainment from movies, music, and more. Award-winning TV guy Rusty Gatenby and his review is the podcast with the biggest cast in entertainment. Part of the Alive and Social Network. You can get that Minnesota connection to Hollywood and beyond any time of the day or night simply by clicking on the RustyGatenbyReview.com. That's the RustyGatenbyReview.com. Part of the Alive and Social Network.
Introducing the Twin Cities' newest transportation app, Cruise. C-R-U-Z, with no surge pricing ever.
Cruise to that brewery.
Cruise to that concert.
Cruise to that ball game.
Cruise home from that party.
I like Tom Cruise.
No kidding.
I do.
Sensing a pattern? Cruise. That's C-R-U-Z, the new app that saves you money with no surge pricing ever. Book in advance and save even more with Cruise. Download the Cruise app. Follow him on Twitter @TimeToCruise to get weekly ride discounts.
Whenever you booze, use Cruise.
Download Cruise right now on iOS or Android.
You're listening to the Twin Cities Hit Show. Say it 3 times fast. We just dare you.
Zooby zooby zoo. Zooby zooby zoo.
Zooby zooby zoo.
Zooby zooby zoo. Zooby zoo. Zooby zoo.
What's the name of this song?
Zooby zooby zoo.
I don't know. How many guesses do I
She
get?
doesn't even sound French.
Zooby zooby zoo. Zooby zoo.
This is did you ever watch Mad Men?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this was from a Mad Men thing. Well, I think it's time we learn how to swear in French.
Oui.
Sacre bleu. Did you guys study any French at all?
How's Spanish?
Ne je parle français.
No, which is no in Spanish.
Do you know Spanish swear words?
No, it all sounds sweary to me. Actually, when I hear it.
Mied.
Yes, that's one.
It's the only one I know.
Well, first, I think we need to start off more civil. Here's how do you say thank you in French?
Merci.
Oh, there you go.
Merci. I think merci.
She's very thankful. That's why she knows.
Thank you in French. Merci.
Merci.
Thank
Merci.
you.
Sounds Hebrew.
All right, now our next lesson.
How to say you're welcome in French. Je t'en prie. You're welcome. Je t'en prie. You're welcome. Je t'en prie.
Now you go.
You're welcome.
You're welcome, all right.
Now you try.
Now you try. Je t'en prie.
Is this Rosetta Stone?
Ain't no woman tell me how to speak
How
French.
to say you are beautiful in French.
Oh,
Tu
all
es
the time,
belle.
Colleen.
You are beautiful. Tu es belle. You are beautiful. Tu es belle.
You are creepy.
You are
French.
Here you go, Chuck. Here's one for you.
How to ask someone out in French. Veux-tu sortir avec moi? Do you want to go out with me? Veux-tu sortir avec moi? Do you want to go out with me?
Do you want to touch it?
Veux-tu sortir avec moi?
Can you try it?
Do you want to go out with me?
Do you ask
Now
people
you
in
try.
English, do you want to go out with me, though? That's a weird way to ask someone. Do you want to go out with me?
You want to hit this?
And then you're like, no. How do you say no thank you in French?
Or you could just say, voulez-vous coucher avec moi? That means you want to sleep with me tonight.
No.
All right, here's just two more before we start swearing. Here's one that I think, Colleen, you and I might be able to use on Chuck.
How to say shut up in French. Ta gueule.
Ta gueule.
Shut up. Ta gueule.
Ta-
Shut up. Ta gueule. Shut up. Now you try.
I like to say them together. Ta gueule, shut up.
Ta gueule.
Shut up.
Ta gueule. Ta gueule. And now one for our show overall.
How to say stupid in French. Stupide.
I'll remember that.
Stupide.
Stupid. 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 Now you try.
Stupid. All right, get out your pens and paper.
If you want to say dumb, which is pretty offensive,
we're
and you're talking about a man,
all right.
you can say
I thought you were done.
con.
I'm sorry.
Dumb. Con.
Con.
Dumb. Con.
Con.
Dumb.
Con.
Now you try.
Con. Je suis stupide.
If you're talking about a woman, and
Oh.
remember, this is very offensive.
Is it with a T?
You can say con. Dumb.
Oh.
Con. Dumb.
Condom?
Con. Dumb.
What the hell's wrong with
Now you try.
Robert.
I got a this prophylactic is stupid. It's condom.
Stupid.
Get out your pen and paper now. Take notes.
How to say bad words in French.
Oh.
Putain. Fuck. Putain. Fuck. Putain.
Can't wait to show my
Fuck.
kids these.
Now you try.
Putain.
Merde.
Putain.
Shit.
There's
I want-
yours.
Totally want to cut you.
Merde.
I want totally to
Shit.
cut you.
Merde. Shit. Now you try.
Doesn't have the same flair. I don't
Merde.
think.
I'm gonna go
If
take
you
a
want to
mail.
say God damn it, you can say
This is fun.
bordel. God damn it. Bordel. God damn it. Bordel. God damn it. Now you try.
No, I don't feel
Can you
like
just
it.
isolate the girl saying God
Or
damn
you
it?
could say bordel de merde, which is even stronger. Bordel de merde.
God damn it to hell.
God damn it. Bordel de merde. God damn it.
All right.
Bordel de merde. God damn it. Now you try.
God damn it. She goes really French to like almost God damn it.
Now remember,
Asshole.
this is really offensive.
Oh,
Fils de pute. Asshole. Fils de pute. Asshole.
Can you imagine her
Now
in the
you
sound
try.
booth doing this?
I think you're gonna have to put explicit on this.
And that's how to say
Every time
bad
you do
words
this, I get mad at
in
you.
French.
I think you put a merde. I'm mad. I have
But
to
it sounded so nice when they.
Can you see her getting paid in the sound booth for this? All right, one more time. Just a little fruitier.
Try again, the fox, s'il vous plaît. Oh no, you're doing so well. Why are you angry? God damn it! Oh,
God damn it. God damn it.
Oh boy,
you guys. This whole show's inappropriate.
So, did you catch wind of Sarah Palin over the weekend?
No. I try not to.
Yeah, it was pretty incredible. She was on the.
She is terrorism.
Ear
First of all,
terrorism.
she needs to back away from the Botox. First of all,
Yeah,
that's
I
going
haven't seen her in a while.
Yeah.
She's a good-looking lady. You can't
Thanks.
take that.
Oh,
She's got a
I
good,
couldn't
good baby.
take my eyes off of
Good
that.
body.
Here she is talking about. I think we got 3 Q&As here because they were the questions I wanted asked, and here is catching up with Sarah Palin. Hold on, listen in.
Do you feel like you're to blame for the loss in 2008? Because people do blame you.
Well, it takes a team to win, so it takes a team to lose. I was part of the team that came in second out of 2. So, yes. Yeah, I mean, semantics. Okay, words matter. You either win or you lose. We lost. That makes you not a winner.
Yeah.
When it comes to
She was that close to being president of the United States. People actually wanted her to be president.
She is,
of
though,
the
I think, the female equivalent of Biden. They both say stupid stuff constantly.
But Biden's a little more educated than this gal.
Establishing your worldview. I was curious, what newspapers and
So here's a highlight from Katie Couric asking, what newspapers do you read?
Oh, this is from a long time ago.
Yeah,
Okay.
but then she's going to respond to that looking back on it.
did you regularly read before you were tapped for this to stay informed and to understand the
I've
world?
read most of them, again, with a great appreciation for the press, for the media.
But like what one specifically? I'm curious that you...
all of them, any of them that have been in front of me over all these years. I have a vet.
So do you think, was that a fair question?
Sure, yeah.
Now
Not a
she
crappy
says that.
answer, but it was a fair question. I didn't like, though, the way that forever then, in these 7 years, that interview has kind of been stamped on my forehead as, she's an idiot. I just think in the context of the whole ball of wax that day or 2 days of an interview and editing, it wasn't real fun.
You mentioned that one of your disappointments this year was Bristol's wedding falling through, the marriage falling through. Bristol's pregnant again. That can't be how you saw this playing out. Unmarried and pregnant again.
Heck no, because being a single mom is, oh my goodness, my heart goes out to the single parents, but my enormous admiration for what it is that they're able to accomplish doing double duty. And I watch Bristol do double duty all the time, with her little boy Trip. I can't wait for about 45 more days, and I'm going to have a little baby granddaughter, and I'm happy about it.
You're looking at it like a blessing.
Absolutely, yeah.
Of course, there are those who say, come on, this goes against everything you stand for.
Well, the cool thing about putting your faith in God is he certainly is a God of second chances and third and fourth and fifth chances. I screw up all the time.
There's this feeling that maybe instead of contributing to making things work, that you're part of the problem of people not being able to find a
Because
solution.
some of my comments are probably very candid and perceived as caustic to some. I do that because I know that I speak for a whole lot of people who are thinking the same thing but don't have a microphone or a stage, and they want somebody to say it, and I'll say that, and I'll call people out for doing something stupid, and I'll use the word stupid.
Do you worry that that's too divisive?
I think too many people worry about being too divisive, or they worry about the politically correct police who will tell them, to sit down and shut up because you're politically incorrect. I'm like, that's part of the problem in our country right now.
Her whole thing is like a kitschy. It's just the whole thing's a
Well, that's
shtick.
what the whole thing when she first came out, everyone was going nuts because she was spunky and nice looking and just like said it like it was, and she grew thin pretty quick.
It's just a shtick. And, they spent like 3 weeks vetting her as a candidate. Like, we need a woman and she can kind of talk, so let's do it.
I'm a fan of intelligence, and I never saw that in her. And I was like, really, people?
Yeah.
Oh, mind-boggling.
Yeah. I don't, and I think it's a bad precedence to set, though, is to say, you preach this, but yet your daughter's knocked up again. Let's not, you can set your standards high, by the grace of God go I kind of a thing that kids don't always listen to their parents, bottom line.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be held, like, oh, but you say this and your kids do this. Or even if you fail, I think when people, they're quick to say hypocrite. I don't think there's anything wrong with setting a bar of standards of how you want to live. And if you fall short, you fall short, because that's what being human is. But you also need to be humble, and I think she kind of came off as humble, because what do? Your kid, you're excited for the new life, and it's a blessing. You got to look at it that way.
I would have loved if that was her answer.
Yeah.
I would have loved if that was her answer.
Right.
Yeah. And it wasn't her answer. And then there's the tabloidy stuff. What can you believe? Not some of it wasn't. It was legitimate, quote air quote, journalism, I guess, talking about some of the bizarre family stuff that's going on.
Well, the dynamics.
The drunken brawls at a kegger.
Not only that, is that as a mom, and say you were being tapped to be vice president, oh my God, could you imagine? But if you were being tapped and you knew your daughter was pregnant as a teenager, that's such a private thing, and you go through it as a family, and you just kind of rally around and protect. To put her then out there, I'm sure they all had the talk, and we agreed to do it, but you just don't do it. I thought that was so suspect to me. I thought it's just so selfish and weird that you want that moment in her life to be just like on the front pages and set the stage for her to have to deal with ridicule and judgment and all those things that came with it. I just thought, why would you put your kid in that position? I never
can't
understood
speak
it.
to the family dynamics of the Palin family, but they live in Wasilla, Alaska, or wherever. And I picture these like weekend bonfires, like a reality show almost, and it's just people coming and going, and everyone rallies around Sarah. I have no idea how it actually works, but it seems like
she had her own reality show for a moment.
Yeah, and so did her daughter.
Oh, for God's
Trip
sake.
or something with Trip or tripping with
She's
something.
She's not living the Alaska lifestyle. She's barely there.
Yeah,
she's in Washington or on Fox News or.
She also did. Her daughter did that wife swap thing.
Oh,
did she?
With and then it was with Joan Rivers and Melissa Rivers.
Oh, whoa!
And so Joan Rivers had to take care of her bratty kid, who is a complete brat.
Her daughter did get married?
She was engaged to a guy, and that fell through.
So they did a wife swap with the
No,
fiancé?
it was her sister, Willow, and I can't think, Bristol.
Oh, gross.
It was, and it was one of those things where it was funny because you saw how Joan Rivers and her daughter really were strict with their son and had rules, and he was just a really great kid, and this other kid, he ran roughshod over these girls, and it was so hard to watch.
Yes, I believe that.
Please stop it.
So, I'm surprised I haven't heard more about this, but the 90-minute rant that Donald Trump went on.
I haven't heard any of it.
Oh, my God. Well, here's a moment of it. Hold on.
Kasich, I have a headache from this guy. I'm telling Carly, whatever the hell her name is, Fiorina, I'm saying, will you stop cutting in?
John Kasich and Carly Fiorina aren't gaining on Trump. Marco Rubio is.
Rubio, ready? Weak on illegal immigration. Weak like a baby.
Trump saved the lowest blows for Ben Carson, referencing the retired neurosurgeon's description of himself as a pathologically angry youth.
Well, he said he has pathological disease. Now, if you're pathological, there's no cure for that, folks. If you're a child molester, a sick puppy, you're a child molester, there's no cure for that. There's only one cure. We don't want to talk about that cure. That's the ultimate cure.
Oh, boy.
No, there's two. There's death and the other thing.
For Carson, the story of anger is part of his journey to redemption.
And he plunged it into the belt. And amazingly, the belt stayed totally flat. And the knife broke. How stupid are the people of Iowa? How stupid are the people of the country to believe this crap?
And there was this reference to ISIS.
I know more about ISIS than the generals do, believe me. I would bomb the out of them.
That's already happening, but all right.
Trump went on for more than an hour with little regard for the fallout.
And I don't care. I may leave here and you may say, oh, that was not nice what he said. Who cares? But then, I go back to my life.
Crazy for feet.
There, in that little highlight by CBS, there was more, actually. He stood aside from the podium, pantomimed the stabbing, showed his belt buckle and how it would fold up or down if the knife were to hit it.
He's a forensic specialist, this guy.
These are important issues. Yeah, let's spend hours on these.
If this actually... I can't even do a Donald Trump, but he was like, it would go up or it would go down. It would go up or it would go down. He's showing his belt buckle, it wouldn't stop the knife. It would slide still into his...
Okay, Donald.
95 minutes. Stream of consciousness of insults. And, including...
He's such a distraction.
In Iowa, calling the Iowa people stupid. So, there you go.
Good for you. Good for you.
Anyway.
Way to go, Donald.
President Trump will have it all figured out. We'll all be fine.
I think he'll make it right to the end. I really do.
Who the heck knows?
Mystery Science Theater is doing a Kickstarter.
I know.
Were you fans of that?
Jay Elvis was one of our guests. One of the writers. Did you have him come on?
Oh, he was via Skype.
Yeah. He
Love
was
that show.
One of our earlier episodes.
La, la, la.
Yeah.
And I think Joel is part of this Kickstarter campaign.
Yep.
Yeah.
One guy just died. He's an older guy. Was he 80? But he was the voices of one of the original ones
really?
and a writer. He just passed away last week, I think.
He was 80?
I think so.
Wow. It's funny because Joel got tired of it and walked away early on, but now he wants to bring it back.
Yeah.
There's a huge cult following of that. It's a big following. So
you like it?
I did. I loved it. I was a lot younger, but yeah, it just we would do that as kids, make jokes of the dialogue, and God, there were some great lines.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
So good.
I don't know if I have the patience to watch it. I never did. I think it's funny, like a couple minutes here and there, like, that's great.
Yeah.
But, okay, I got
we would laugh.
Gypsy. Hi, girl. Tom Servo.
I liked it.
Yeah.
It was usually
different.
And when I saw it, it was usually on a morning on the weekend or something.
Yep.
And so it was a nice lazy. Look at that.
Yep.
Anyway, good luck to them. I hope it comes back.
Yeah, man.
It will.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Would it go on Comedy Central or Sci-Fi? They've got options now.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
And again with the internets and the this web thing, you never know what to believe. Lots of news out there happening, of course, now with France and ISIS, and this one, I think it might be true. Hold on.
A Christian anti-masturbation mascot has been arrested. Stay tuned.
A what?
Christian anti-masturbation mascot. It's a giant dolphin.
I forgot to tell you, I was in custody this weekend.
It's a giant dolphin named Flappy.
In an ironic twist of fate, the mascot for a Christian anti-masturbation group was arrested yesterday for masturbating in public. Flappy the Dolphin recently finished a federally funded national tour which focused on educating children and parents about the dangers of masturbation.
But kids are hot.
Flappy supporters say they are praying for him.
And then the outrage of replies that happened. First of all,
hashtag pray for Flappy.
Oh, he's got his own page on Facebook.
The story is like 9 or 6 months old, and it is totally a fake news site. I had to follow it because it showed up on my Facebook. I'm like, all right, really? A dolphin?
There's a Facebook page for
Let me see.
Flappy the
anti-masturbation dolphin.
Yeah,
that's great. That is great.
So, and there was another story.
Help is just a call away. International Masturbation Prevention Life Support Service. FAPI, the anti-masturbation.
Oh, it's FAPI, not Flappy.
Yeah,
okay,
FAPI. Talk to us. We listen. We care. And actually, some people I know like this page. Ryan Hype. I think he's a local comedy too.
Well, this fake news site also had another story that I thought alarming, actually.
An Alabama teen is behind bars tonight, turned in by his own mother. Stay tuned.
Yes, so the noise, it's News Examiner TV.
Here's the poster. Remember what Fappy the Dolphin says? Only you can prevent masturbating.
They must have a theme on this News Examiner, because here's this story.
A 15-year-old boy has been jailed without bail after his mother called 911 when she found him in his room watching porn and masturbating.
911, what's your emergency?
Help, my son is watching porn and masturbating. Please send help now.
Police were quick to respond, arresting the 15-year-old. Now the teenager is being charged by prosecutors under a new controversial state law called self-rape. Get the full story at newsexaminer.net.
Oh, it's not real.
Page is hilarious. I just liked it myself. This
Fappy?
is hilarious. They have a picture of him lecturing school kids. Oh, we're going serious now.
No, not necessarily. It's Fappy, the
it's
masturbation
Fappy.
dolphin.
As a former law enforcement officer, I need to speak out against this scourge of masturbation that is ripping our community apart and certain private parts as well. Use lube.
If you stop masturbating, ISIS wins.
Yeah.
Keep it up.
Keep it up.
I went to my doctor and he said, you got to stop masturbating. And I said, why, doc? And he said, because we're in the middle of a physical. Hey-oh.
I don't get it.
I wish that was a joke, but it isn't.
Fappy. Fappy. Fappy anti-masturbation dolphin.
We're going to wind up this show here because I know we got places to go and people to see and things to do. Any events coming? You had a good... Both you guys were working over the weekend.
Yep, we had a good week.
Fun show.
Full crowds every night.
Forgot to promote them on Thursday for both of our shows.
Yeah,
but
you guys should have been there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sick of Sarah show up to your show.
Yeah, they did. They came. They were cool.
They
Very
love
cool
you.
girls.
They love you.
And what swear word did we learn today?
Je suis franc merde.
Stupid.
You are so stupid.
The way they say stupid is really stupid.
Stupid.
Anyway.
That's stupid. I'll be on the fly tonight. Tune in.
You're doing On the Fly?
On the Fly. Tune in.
How many? Didn't you just do it last week?
Yeah, this is...
They don't ever replay them. You can't find them anymore, can you?
No. And I didn't tape last week, so I never saw how it turned out.
They don't ask me anymore. They must like you.
Yeah. I wear low-cut shirts.
I must be stupid.
Stupid.
One of the things that showed up on the internet, did you see this? A guy dragged his piano behind his bike right up to the theater the next day.
I always wondered how that piano got there.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Dragged his piano right up to the theater the next day, and a crowd gathered, and he played this little John Lennon tune. And it was one of those moments trying to soothe the fears. One of the reporters said last night he's reporting from France, and it was a typical city square, but then rumor said that there was another attack happening, and he said everyone just started fleeing and running. So the town is that on edge. It turned out to be nothing.
Blame them.
Yeah, no shit.
I'd be fleeing.
Suddenly mass panic
Flee!
happened. Yeah. Well,
I got to send you this Alanis Morissette clip. We're going to play that tomorrow.
All right.
I can't bring myself to click on it. I've seen it left and right, and
Yeah, me too.
I'm like avoiding it. I don't know why.
I've seen a lot of Jimmy Fallon skits, and I'm like, oh, okay, another one.
Yeah.
But Chuck wants us to play it.
James
Have you
Corden.
seen it?
James Corden. Yeah, it's funny. She does a good job making fun of herself and hitting on the irony of irony.
Well, she doesn't even know what ironic means. Have you ever heard that song?
I know. Well, she acknowledges that. I give her some credit.
Oh, it does? Okay.
All right, then.
It's kind of pitchy, dog.
Uh-huh.
A little bit. Kind of got untuned on the bike ride over.
Yeah.
You're going to have some of that.
I'm glad he did it, though, wherever this dude was.
Sure.
Why not? We're all going to make it through.
It's hard to flee with a piano in tow, though.
The good guys are going to win. Bad guys are going down.
Daughter
That's the
ran a
way it
5K.
goes. I saw that.
To
I
fight
liked it.
terrorism.
Stay dry this Monday.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys tomorrow on the Twin Cities Hit Show, which is stupid.